Ever since the introduction of the grappler module, the Maelstrom, in my opinion, has been one beast of a solo PvP ship. However, like many battleships, you tend not to see much combat in it until you get, well, overwhelmed in a fiery death. The fight coming up is no exception. The Maelstrom goes toe-to-toe with 5 Gilas and a Tengu, not by choice. I was caught out at a gate on my way home, but a fight's better than no fight, and it didn't go down without taking one of the bastards with it.
Insects dying pretty fast. Fight pretty fast destruction. No, not really sure. I don't think so.
They're telling you to come back. That seems legit. Let's go. I have a bunch more of these vengeances.
The Stabber fleet issue, in my opinion, has always been a solid ship. It has a really good layout, 5 turrets, 4 mids, 6 lows, and a tracking bonus, which is why you see the dual prop, dual rep setup so cookie cutter, which in my opinion is probably the best fit for this Stabber. It complements its high mobility, and due to the tracking bonus, you don't need a web. But that being said, it's really lacking on DPS. It only has 1 damage bonus, not really punching out much with those 5 guns, and it still does not have very good fitting. If you do a dual prop setup, you gotta downgrade the guns. If you don't do a dual armor rep setup, you're really weak. You melt. You're not much stronger than a regular Stabber. But that being said, you'll tend to still see these flying around in small gangs with brawl setups. They don't have projections, so they can't really be an anti-support ship, in my opinion. Now, I'm not an expert. Which brings me to another reason why I don't really fly it very often. Now, I like it, but as with any faction cruiser, it's difficult to get fights in, without being overwhelmed at least. Going up against Cinnables is my ideal target, because if you can get on top of a Cinnable in a Stabber fleet issue, you almost always win due to the tracking bonus. Cinnables don't have a tracking bonus, so that's something it has going for it. But that's about it. No frigate wants to fight it. Destroyers, regular Tech 1 cruisers, they don't want to fight it, and I don't blame them. So I was starting to think the only targets I was going to find in this ship were, well, like this AFK Gnosis. And then there was this interesting individual who went GCC on me at a gate. I think he was just a new bro lost in space. His fit would definitely complement that idea. But that all changed the moment I met an interesting YOLO pilot and just got the luckiest damn fights I've had back to back. Here we insert AlexSpise A1, and forgive me if I mispronounced your name, words are hard. Alex was a very humble pilot. Now, we're not working together or on comms, other than not shooting each other. That's about as friendly as we get. He's green because we're in the same militia, and that's just about it. Alex was a humble pilot. He lost a few ships, killed more than he lost, and when I would scoop up loot after the fight and offer to give it to him to reimburse his ship loss, he would turn it down every time and just told me to keep it. Well, me like shiny things, so I'm not going to ask twice. Moving right along, this was a fight I was watching on D-Scan from my medium plex. He was in a large. I saw a handful of frigates warp to him and knew that he could become overwhelmed. The odds were simply stacked against him. They had tracking disruption, they had Logi, and they had an Inyo. And as you know, the Inyo can pump out a lot of damage. With those two support ships helping him out, almost be immune. So I warped in, a little too late to save him. However, we held the field and destroyed more than we lost. So I take that as a win. That's about all I can add to this fight. So let's go ahead and watch some more interesting fights that just happen by sheer chance and luck with AlexSpise. When nullsec pilots come to faction warfare space looking for a fight, it is absolutely freaking magical. The fights you'll get will often let you take on ships way outside your class and feel really good about it, until you see how they're fit. But a kill's a kill, and he came at me, so, well, they all did. In the following fight you're going to see, I'm fighting pretty much the same people several times throughout a couple different systems. And the first encounter here is a rupture that I'm in against a Cinnable. maybe they don't know too much about how these compounds work, but I warp to a medium plex and the Cinnable follows me. Now if I'm caught out in the open with the Cinnable coming in at range, I'm kind of screwed. And at this moment right here I actually thought I was screwed because the Cinnable has a warp speed bonus, so even though he warped after me, he still got there first. However, with these gate mechanics, many times, not always, but many times, if you activate the gate, like spam it as soon as you land, you can warp off and you'll be unlockable. That probably frustrated the hell out of him, so he followed me in, which is exactly what I want. My MWD Scram Web combo can easily lock him down before he can burn away. And once you're on top of a Cinnable, your odds of winning the fight are pretty good. Not guaranteed, because they are still stronger than a Rupture. They can out-brawl you, but not if they're set up for range. He was already fit, and as you can see, there go my shields. I panic at a moment, but when I see the damage doesn't continue and I'm orbiting him at 500, I immediately feel confident about winning this fight. So, here's some interesting fights with some more montage for you. I will go over the fit on this Rupture. Briefly, it's not much more than you would expect. It's dual rep, standard lows, standard mids. However, to squeeze every ounce of DPS out of it and utilize maximum power grid, I mix guns. I have two 220s and two 425s. No reason to frown on that, really. I would fit all 425s if I could, but you can't have everything. How to be a friendly target 101. It's a rare sight, but inevitable. As you're going through low sec about your day-to-day business, you will inevitably run across a miner. Now, I don't blow up miners, however, I do enjoy having fun with them. Miners make my ships, and if you blow miners up, my ships get more expensive and I become unhappy. However, I do feel the need to test their tanks and, you know, make sure that their docking repair facility is still working. Now, I've never bothered to record this before, but a few times I've shot at them, put them into very low structure, and then proceeded to wish them a good day as I move on about my business. Now, a tip if you're a miner and you just for some reason happen to be watching this video, do what he did. Don't freak out local. He typed yikes. That was it. Yeah, that one simple little thing was rather comical to me, and there's a fair chance somebody will let you go. Now, I was going to let him go regardless. However, if he freaked out in local and started, like, raging, there's a good chance I would have blown him up. Just something to keep in mind. Anyways, I thought you might find this interesting. Fun to poke at him. This was an experimental and unrefined cyclone fit. Basically, unexpected. It's got its shield rep, but it's also got dual armor rep. I never know what to do with all the low slots in a cyclone when you're not using them for fitting modules, so I figured I'd give this a shot. The cyclone is a ship I don't care much for, but I want it to be better. Anyways, after flying around for 2 hours and finding absolutely nothing except for the targets in this system, which I was trying to avoid, I decided to YOLO into it. Before I entered the fight, I knew I was going to die. Simple fact, they had a Garmer, and when there's a Garmer on field and you don't have a jump drive, you're going to die. That's just the way it is. So, I figured if I can kill a Thorax while I'm getting blobbed, I will consider that a victory. It's not technically a victory because he's worth about half as much as me, but I was desperate for something. It was so boring. I don't tend to drink very often. However, every couple of weeks I'll enjoy a malt beverage while I play EvE. I can really only drink when I'm playing EvE because it, well, I don't know, it just makes PvP better-ish. Or derpier. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, the fight you're going to see coming up shortly after this one, this is what led up to it, is a direct result of premium malt beverages. I teamed up a Temp Blue with a solo pilot from No Handlebars. Seemed pretty cool guy. Anyways, well, I was not set up to fight this gang, obviously, and I'm brawl fit. However, with the advantage of having an MJD, I was feeling rather confident. It's a solid setup in my opinion, afterburner, scram, jump drive, dual rep, yada yada yada. Pretty cookie cutter as far as hurricanes go in the brawl setup, minus a web. Flying around with a micro jump drive gives me confidence because then I just don't give a crap about Garmers anymore, which is, it's going to sound like beating a dead horse to death, but when you don't have to worry about Garmers, it's like a weight lifted off your shoulder. Enjoy this derpy mess. Pay attention to local chat too, you might enjoy it. To all my friendly targets, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for future videos. I'm all ears, and if you have criticism, as long as it's constructive, I'll definitely pay it mind. Also, let me know what kind of music you guys would look forward in new videos. I'm trying to keep leaning towards more neutral music that everybody can enjoy. Kind of like this, I think. Also, if you like the format of this video, in other words, if you made it through the whole video and you didn't once think about it being too long or too short, let me know. I think it's okay as long as it's full of content every minute. I'll see you in the next video.